buttons to push in this country. And I really think that is I think it's deliberate, and I think it's a dangerous thing. So take a look at this article here. Obama official led Soros fund supporting world government. Sought more UN helmets on U.S. soldiers, membership in International Criminal Court. Again, this is from WorldNet Daily. President Obama's Assistant Secretary of State for Population, Refugees, and Migration, Eric P. Schwartz, that's awfully German sounding, previously served as the director of a George Soros-funded organization that promoted global governance. Schwartz also coordinated meetings on behalf of Obama's transition team with a group that advocates placing more blue United Nations helmets on U.S. troops and coercing the U.S. to join the UN's International Criminal Court, which could prosecute American citizens and soldiers for war crimes and other offenses. A 2009 report by Cliff Kincaid, president of America's Survival Inc., warned, now here it is right here, joining the International Criminal Court, here he is, a direct quote, could spark a revolt in the U.S. Armed Forces. A revolt in the United States Armed Forces by the people who have all the weapons and all the guns and all the military might. This administration has already pushed them far enough. They've got them involved in a war that they probably cannot win. They pulled probably their most favored general off of the field and replaced him with somebody else. And here is just another thing and the fact that there is this ongoing issue about, and you know that there has to be talk. You know that these soldiers are out there on the field. They're not having public meetings, they're not having town hall meetings, but they're talking amongst themselves and they're saying, you know what, I wonder if my commander-in-chief is a United States citizen. And then we have groups like this, like George Soros and others, putting these people in power that are trying to bring our country under the governance of the United Nations, something that our armed forces men did not swear to pledge allegiance to. They said they would pledge allegiance to defending the Constitution of the United States. And according to this article, this could spark a revolt in the U.S. Armed Forces. That we have not had a military coup in this country forever. We've had a civil war, we had the American Revolution, but we're not used to seeing a military takeover of our country. I mean, this is not like we're some third world country or something. We just haven't seen that. And I don't know how this country is going to react to something like that, but I think it's on the horizon and we need to be watching. Here it is. Food and Drug Administration OK's first embryonic stem cell research trial on humans despite concerns. They're wanting to despite our concerns. The Obama administration, has approved the bid by cloning company Geron to undertake the first trial involving the use of embryonic stem cells in humans. They have never been used before in people because the cells cause tumors and have immune system rejection issues when tried in animals. Scientists and pro-life advocates say human embryonic stem cells are not ready for trial because problems associated with the cells in animals haven't been solved. The embryonic stem cells still cause tumors and have issues with the immune system rejecting the injection of the cells. The FDA has initially placed the trial on hold, but Geron indicated today that the agency is now allowing it to proceed with an early stage trial on a stem cell therapy for acute spinal cord injury. The FDA placed a hold on the trial last August when evidence showed Geron's GRN-OPC1 encountered safety issues when used in animal studies. Geron's own data showed higher frequency of small cysts within the injury site in the spinal cord of animals injected with the embryonic stem cells. Now remember, this is something that we primarily as a nation stood against back in between 2000 and 2008 when George Bush was in administration, and I don't agree with everything that he did, but he basically put a halt to embryonic stem cell research and said, I don't think this is a good idea. Most of America is against it. And me personally, they're taking dead baby humans that they have killed. Dead baby humans. And where do I get that from? I get that from the scriptures. Life does not begin at birth. It begins at conception. God told Jeremiah, He said, I called you from the womb. He said that of John the Baptist. He said, I've called him from the womb. Even when John the Baptist was in the womb of Elizabeth, when he heard the message of the angel Gabriel, And when Mary's relating that, saying that she was going to have the Christ child, the Bible said the babe leaped in her womb. He was alive inside of that womb. And it is murder to go inside the womb of a woman and kill that baby. It is something that is totally abominable then to take that unborn child, that unborn fetus, that unborn embryo, and use it to further the life or to better the life of someone that is already... How much more barbaric are we going to get in this world? When we abandoned the principles of the Scriptures, when we abandoned prayer in our schools, when we abandoned biblical principles, not only in the public realm, but in the church realm as well, when we started abandoning those things, this is when we started to see the flood, and I want you to remember this word, the flood of iniquity. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to show you something here at the end of this broadcast. God is going to pour out His judgment upon this world because of things exactly like this. See, it's all about... See, I'm sitting here and I am pushing buttons, and it's all about pushing buttons. And I think I know from the Scriptures where it all is going to lead. Here's something else related to that. Microchipping of Alzheimer's patients begins in Florida. The Delray Beach, Florida-based company VeriChip, what do you see what I know about them, has announced plans to implant 200 Alzheimer's patients in Palm Beach County with radio frequency identification chips as part of a pilot study to test the new technology. The VeriMed microchip is approximately the size of a grain of rice and contains a 16-digit patient identification number, which is available to anyone who scans the device with the right technology. This number can be entered into a database to retrieve a patient's medical information. The FDA has approved the chip for human implantation. Now, if you've been following the VeriChip thing for years, and yes, I think that it has something to do with the mark of the beast. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm going to show you something here a little bit from their website that gives us another clue as to exactly what is behind all of this. But if you remember years ago, when VeriChip first came out, they were a company called Digital Angel. I mean, think about that for a minute. And it was a connection. Their website talked about a connection between humanity or between electronics and the human soul. Now, remember a few weeks ago, we did a Watchman broadcast on the singularity and what it is. And it's merging electronics in with the human body to bring us to Godhood. And this is part of that, and there's no doubt in my mind about it. Because I want to show you a clip here from VeriChip's website. I want you to notice their logo. Inside of this, and this is, I guess, meant to represent this grain of rice-sized implant that they put in people. But the logo itself is called the mandorla. Now, the mandorla is a representation. You see here the two circles joined together. The word mandorla simply means almond, and this is an almond-shaped idea, an almond-shaped figure. What does this symbol represent? This symbol represents what is called the sacred feminine, or the divine feminine, or the goddess, or Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So when you see this symbol here, and I don't care what religious icon it's associated with, when you see this symbol here, it is associated with Mystery Babylon the Great. This symbol is actually, it's pretty vulgar, it's a symbol showing the female reproductive organ is what it is. That's what it's called. That tells you sort of the mystery behind it and the spirit that is driving all of this electronic stuff and the mingling of electronics and all of this DNA stuff in with human beings. This same symbol shows up. Here is the Washington's Monument. Now this obelisk here is the symbol of the male. And then here drawn in, and this was only done just a few years ago, drawn into the little sidewalk layout of Washington's Monument is this mandorla symbol showing not only the fusion of two circles or two opposites together, but showing you the sacred feminine that is running, and I believe that Mystery Babylon the Great is running the show in the United States of America. And just get our video called Capital Secrets, and we'll send you a copy of that. By the way, I haven't said much about it because I haven't known too much about it then, but